Hello there, you guys. How is everybody doing? I see one person. I wonder who that is. Hopefully, I want for everybody to. Hey, the Black Barbie. I knew one of them was you. I see three people. I really wish I knew who was in the bushes. I want for all of the people to feel comfortable enough to come up in here and comment. Okay. I just want everybody to feel comfortable enough to comment. You all make sure y'all hit the like button as y'all come to the room. Y'all know. Hey, Miss Teresa. Hey, Kenny Adams. I decided to go on and come on today. Come on, kind of early today. Salute. How you doing, love? What's that? Illumi Negro, enlightened minority. Okay, I hear you. Yeah, I was so tired yesterday. I didn't get a chance to get on. I was tired. Hey, Miss Shan. When I tell you, yeah, I was tired, and I was tired all day today. That sun, I was out working all day today. So that sun drains you. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's what it does. And I was sleeping. I had to stop and give me some coffee. And I said I was gonna come home, get in the bed, and do an hour and get in the bed. But when I drank that coffee from McDonald's, I started feeling better. She said, "Girl, I'm in Tampa, Florida with the grandkids." Okay, around the beach. I love the beach. I was just saying the other day, I need to be on somebody's beach. I want to go to the islands. Hey, Ashley. She said, in the bushes, cutting the grass again. I hear you. Hey, Miss Kawana. Y'all, we're going to talk about the rap beefs and social media. Hey, Diane. We're going to talk about the rap beefs and social media. And I want to come from an angle of like a lot of rappers now are on social media, right? A lot of rappers are on social media and they're really on social media. They're supposed to be on social media to promote. Okay. Whatever it is that they have going on. Hold on, y'all. We're just waiting for more people to come in. Y'all know we normally wait like 5 minutes. And make sure you all hit the like button as y'all come into the room, okay? I would appreciate that a lot. Hey, Indigo Ray. I have to go, Miss T. I just wanted to say thank you for coming in, Teresa. I appreciate that so much. I do. I appreciate that so much. Okay. You guys, I want to talk about why is the rap streets and social media so messed up, okay? Now, social media is supposed to be a tool and a vehicle for a lot of like rappers and business owners and things, people of that nature, right? To be able to advertise what they have going on, and without what's the word that I'm looking for, without having to pay so many advertising dollars, right? There have been a lot of people to like blow up on social media and all of those good things, okay? But now it seems like you would think in a time where uh, rappers or celebrities seem like they're touchable, because before, all we could do is just look at them in the TV, okay? Now we're able to get on social media and get their attention and communicate with them or whatever. And there have been a lot of rappers who did not even have deals, right? To be able to get on social media and go viral, and it caused them to be able to get a deal. If they was business savvy, they was able to use that leverage of going, okay, viral, okay, and stack up their coins. If they had looked into the business, they was business savvy, or they had somebody around them to teach them the business, right? But it seems like, the rap game and social media, so many people are forgetting about, what social media is for. I'll say that, as it relates to a lot of like the rappers. I'll say that a lot of the celebrities, because we see a lot of the beefs, that comes from like the rappers, right? We see a lot of the beefs, they come from the rappers. Okay. Hey, Tony P. Hey, True Bleed. And it seems like to me, instead of getting their money, they kind of take it too personal. You talk about people that are around them, even when you're talking about a lot of these vloggers, right? I see a lot of bloggers that are on social media that pretty much have the potential to go far. And so what happens with vloggers is they start to get a lot of hanger-ons, right? Like groupies. Okay, they could be considered groupies, whether it's a man or a woman. What's up, Cypress? And what they do is, oftentimes, it might not even necessarily be the vlogger. It might be the groupies, the hanger-ons that instigate stuff and keep them involved in stuff, right? Because oftentimes, that's why I tell my people that rock with me the long way. A lot of times, people try to poke, okay, so that they can get this war going, okay? Because if they can get a war going, some people are just attention whores. This is how they're able to get their numbers up. And so, I've had people to, go into chats or whatever and say, that ain't cool, or folks that I didn't even know rock with me, to say something, or just say, what, or reach out to me and say, what, I heard them say this about you. I just unsubscribed. That wasn't even cool or whatever. But a lot of times it ain't even necessarily the vloggers, it's the groupies that are around them that instigate, that keep them going. But because surely you got to know, if you're rocking with a vlogger, okay, and you jumping into you going at everybody, right? What happens is that causes issues for that vlogger. People not gonna look at the groupies, right? They're gonna look at the vlogger. They're going to look at the vlogger, and they're going to have the beef with the vlogger. Okay. And so I think, it's oftentimes when I see people going at it, I go, okay, now I think you should look beneath the surface. Is it really okay? He said group is what up, man? Come on. Is it really the vlogger that's the problem, or is it the people that are around them, the hanger on, the groupies, that's instigating and keeping the beef, perpetuating the beefs, right? Is it that? Because oftentimes that's what it is, because a lot of people are miserable, right? And so that's why, I tell people, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't continuously perpetuate that. Just let it die. Okay, just let it die. Because if you don't feed it, it dies. Anything that you don't water or feed, it dies. But sometimes people want to solidify their position. Okay, when they don't have lives and things of that nature, I need to solidify my position by making them think I'm the one that's got their back. If you got their back, what you do is you encourage them, you tell them you're bigger than this. You don't perpetuate, okay, or instigate something that the main person that is out front is going to have to eventually deal with, okay? Because they don't look at the hanger-ons and the groupies, right? They look at the person, um, the host or whatever. People start, getting ready to come at them because they'll think, okay, this person is behind this. This person got this groupie doing this, right? They don't look at it in terms of, you know, this person is just doing this for the person. No, I think that person got them doing that. Okay. That's the first thought that comes to a person's head. Okay. I'll give an instance, like even with like Beyonce. Beyonce got the beehives, okay? And they was talking about how like when somebody says something about Beyonce, the beehives start they just in droves, they start trying to attack, right? They have this group of people, and I've been knowing this. What they do is they have interns and people like that, media people, okay, that they have numerous accounts, and I mean they just start attacking. Okay, that's what they do, and it's hard for me to believe. And a lot of these celebrities pay people to do this. Okay, a lot of celebrities pay people to do this, right? But it's not necessarily, with Beyonce. Beyonce is up pretty high. It's hard to touch her. Beyonce is pretty private with her life, but when you're trying to build something, hey, people might want to be down. Maybe they are down, but I think that folks should feel secure enough to try to solidify their position in another way, shape, or form rather than perpetuating beefs or throwing gasoline on fire. That ain't in no way, shape, or form helping the person you claim you rocking the hard way, the rocking the long way with, other than keeping them in some shit that they ain't necessarily got to be in, right? That's why I say it's always good to know who you are and whose you are. You don't have to solidify your position in that way, okay? Because one thing about me, what I always tell people is, no, I don't want you to get in there. I don't want you to bring trouble your way. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just go ahead and let this die out. Don't you go jumping in nothing. We're women, okay? We're women, okay? And so we definitely don't get caught up in stuff that especially as it relates to men. Okay, I know I might get on my but I have a platform. I know I might see some things sometimes I think it's worth it, and I'll get on my platform and I'll talk about it. Okay, um as I feel led to talk about, because there are a lot of things that I don't talk about because I go, no, I don't think I need to talk about that. I'm gonna just wait. I'm gonna let the main media put that out. Okay. As a woman, that ain't something I need to be in. I think about it, I pray about it. You better know the things that I get on here and I talk about, I'm not jumping off the porch. I'm very deliberate about the things that I do and say. Okay. I ain't no damn fool by a long shot. Even when I'm emotional, I think about what I'm gonna do or say before I jump on here and do and say it. Okay. So I think that's what it is, as far as like rap beefs. You have to think about a lot of these rappers, okay? They have a lot of hanger-ons around them because they got money, right? They have money. And a lot of these rappers, they have money, and so people want to solidify their positions in hopes of getting something from this rapper. Hey dog, yeah, I got your back. I took care of that. You want me to go and beat them up for you, this and that? Hell, that's keeping that rapper in some. Because when the shit hit the fan, whether it's retaliation, whether it's jail time, whatever it is, they're not going to go to the groupie or the hanger on. They going directly. They want their lick back with the rapper. So what happened is this person that claimed that they got this rapper's back, trying to solidify their position because they ain't got nothing going in life. See, I'm going to tell y'all, you have to be careful about people. Sometimes I call them sneaky Stevens. Okay? What they'll do is they will start something. Okay, they'll start something so that they will in their crafty ways, okay, they'll start a fire and then say, look, you see that fire right there? I'm getting ready to put that fire out for you. They started the motherfucking fire. And so that makes the person think, especially if they ain't no thinker, they don't know how to think. Oh, this person got my back, but bitch, you started that fire. So they go start fires in your life, stuff that you ain't necessarily even, stuff you ain't even got to deal with, don't even need to come before you, especially if you got other stuff going on. And then they say, you see what I did? I went and got that extinguisher and put that fire out that they tried to start in your life. No, bitch, you started that fire. And the one thing that we know about fires, oftentimes they spread. It ain't easy to put a fire out. So even if you get out, you might have third-degree burns on you that you will keep on you for life. All because a groupie or a hanger-on started something, try to solidify their position to show you that they was down. That's something you ain't even have to deal with. Okay. And so I think that is what is going on. A lot of this stuff. Okay. That's one way to look at it. And then a lot of it is jealousy. Okay. People cannot stand to see other people come up. It's a darn shame before God. They got it, I got it. If they got it, how come I can't have it? Folks be wanting what other folks have so bad. It's a damn shame people can't even speak about what they got. You know, I always talk about, in order to do what I do, you got to do what I do. Hell, I don't know what people go through when I see folks with all this fancy stuff. I don't know what they go through to get it. When I see all these young women starting these businesses, and they talk about they got the money one way, but a lot of them going over there to Dubai. Well, I went over to Dubai for a business class. We didn't know that they was getting pissed and shitted on all up in their face and eyes and stuff to be able to get that money for them Iranians and then come back into the United States and open up a business. To them, it's worth it. To me, I never do it. So people sit up and envy folks, and they don't know what people go through. Okay? Somebody sending me a message. Hold on. When my phone gets going off, y'all, hold on. Let me get my phone. When people start sending me messages, I be wanting to read them because I don't want to miss nothing. Okay? Hold on. Hey, Gerald, he said, I wish females would stop rappers and become ladies again. Yeah. God loves it. I guess you are talking about talking about Youngster and Gotti. Well, I'm talking about all of them. Okay? And so a lot of it is jealousy. Okay? A lot of it is jealousy. People get jealous of folks because of what they have suffered through and worked hard for. Oftentimes you sitting up jealous of folks because, I mean, if you want it now, you can, if it's in your destiny, you can have it. I truly believe you work hard enough, you can get anything you want, okay? As long as it lines up with the will of God. But sometimes people be jealous and hating on what other folks have obtained, and they ain't even got the character to have. Damn, the work ethic, you ain't got the character. You ain't even got the character to be able to obtain and sustain. If I said that right, is it sustain? I'm thinking about suspect. I've been reading too many cases today because I was going to say into suspect. Okay. You ain't got it. You ain't even got the character. You got some people, they got such good character. People will look at them or listen to them and just decide, I just want to be a part of whatever they're a part of. I just want to help them. There's some people that look at me and they go, I don't, especially if they don't know me. It's sustained. Okay. Thank you, Stephen. See, Stephen gonna get me straight because I almost said suspect. It's sustained. Thank you, Stephen. I be forgetting. Okay. And then when they don't know you, oh, she's just too abrasive. I don't like her. They listen to what somebody else say or they jealous. So they try to find a reason not to like and be glad when they think they got some dirt on you. All you got to do is ask me. You ain't got to dig. And if it ain't none of your business, I'm gonna tell you that. Bitch, it ain't none of your business. Okay. Who she been laying up with? Your daddy. Your daddy. That's the reason why your mama ain't got no money to pay them bills. Okay, your daddy. Cause I get it. Okay. Because see, people worry about the wrong thing. It's too much stuff that go on, and people sit up and worry about what really they sit up and hate on what other people got going on instead of saying, hey, you know what? I don't like that person. But guess what? I can't take away from them. They sure do their thing. I don't care for them. See, it's a lot of people I don't care for. I don't care for their personalities or nothing about them. But if they doing their thing, I go, but you know what? They doing their thing, though. I don't care for them, but they sure do their thing. See, I've always been that type of person. Somebody asked me about somebody's business. What you think? I can't stand them, but they do good work. Oh, for real? Yeah, they do good work. I can't stand them. No, I don't fool with them, but they do good work. Okay. People don't know how to do that. They get jealous of the work ethic. They get jealous of the work ethic of another person and the favor that person has on their life. Okay. That's what they get jealous of. So instead of going and trying to blaze their own trails, okay, instead of going and trying to blaze their own trails, they're perpetuating unnecessary beefs, fights, turmoil in somebody's life. And they just hang around trying to find, instead of praying, God, let me find my way. Okay. Witchcraft. That's because I'm gonna tell y'all something. A lot of women are bad about that. See, I'm a woman. Now y'all say I'm pro woman, and I am, but I'm gonna talk about this today. A lot of women are bad about that. A lot of women, see, people talk about men manipulate women. Women are way more manipulative than any man because more men are logical thinkers. Women sit and women are very crafty. Women are very crafty. And if you are a weak-minded mojo, a mofo, you will end up being in a cesspool. People that could be good for your life, that could help you, that God has put into your life. Because what women do is they come in and start trying to get other women away from around you. Bitch, you can't even talk, ho. You can't even talk. But you got the nerve to be coming in causing turmoil for somebody that might can help that person. Okay? I don't like her. You know what? They start trying to put. Well, just let me put something in your ear. I don't really like the way they do you. This, and that. They start planting bad seeds. I'm a woman. I know what women do when they insecure. That's why men have to be strong. Okay. Let me tell y'all something. My daddy, rest his soul. And I'm going to tell y'all, I got something going on as it relates to my daddy that I'm going to tell y'all about that I'm doing. Okay. It's a black tie event. My daddy was the top man. Okay. And so, but my daddy was a ladies man. He was handsome. Y'all saw he's a handsome chocolate man. He was handsome. He was old fashioned. Okay. But see, there ain't nothing worse than a messy man and a messy woman too, James. That's a deadly combination. You better have some type of sense and think logically if you're a man, because a messy man and a messy woman just don't go. That's a disaster. That's a disaster. Negro, you get ready to lose everything. The heifer messy, and you got the nerve to be messy too. Okay? You need to have some the traits and the characteristics of a damn man, excuse my French, rather than a bitch. Okay? You can't be a man and be a bitch. Okay? Have bitchy characteristics. That's a recipe for disaster. Okay? And so the women like being around my daddy. And they were always jockeying for position. Because they always wanted him to be able to appoint them as his assistants. His assistants made 100 and something, about 130 something a year. So they was always jockeying for position, trying to knock down anybody, to include whoever his secretaries was, anybody. They was manipulative. They was talking about you, Rick. And I'm gonna tell y'all, it's lonely at the top. Y'all, it's lonely at the top. And I get thinking about my dad. I have a bleeding heart because I'm not over my daddy's death. But it's lonely at the top. I got to looking at my dad as he got older. It's lonely at the top. Everybody wants your position. And it ain't nothing like an old skank if God puts you next to the king, bitch. Then you're supposed to be a blessing to help him, not to try to isolate him. Women get around the king and try to isolate him instead of blessing the people like Esther. If you got the ear of the king, you heifer, or whatever you call him, you supposed to you through him help other people to be fruitful. That's what God put you there for. Almost every position I had, I always worked next to the police chiefs and stuff. I was young, walking around there in Stiletto Hills, but guess what? I knew that my position was not to seduce them. My position was to be able to help other people. So I would look at them. It was lonely at the top. They make all that money. Them folks got all types of decisions to make. They got their lieutenants and their majors and all of them up under them. Coming with manipulation, using their position to try and hurt other people. And it is up to the head person to decipher. You want to believe what the supervisors that you got in place say. That's what you put in there for. You're supposed to be able to trust them. Right? Okay. But instead, if the chief ever came to, such and such, this and that, what you think about that, Miss Thompson? I was never agreeable, because that's not what God had me there for. If it was wrong, some people just so they ain't no earthly good. They ain't gonna buck against nothing. You come and you ask me, and I know, then I got to tell you the truth. No, Chief, that ain't right. How you gonna put a man out of a job? You need to look more into that. You can't just put a man out of a job. He got a family. Yeah, you right. You sure right, Miss Thompson. You right. So I remember one day they had a class, right? A class had just graduated. And I believe it was either one of the lieutenants or the HR manager or somebody. It was a person that was in that class, but they want the whole class fired. I remember I walked in, I was listening to them, and the chief was like, well, we're gonna hold a meeting and we're gonna their 30 days. I think they had 90 days. Their 90 days are not up. What we're gonna do is we just gonna fire all of them. God allowed me to hear it. I was sitting in the next room. We're gonna fire all of them, and then we're gonna he told the HR manager then immediately post the positions again. Okay, post the positions again because so that we can get new bodies. It was about 30 something officers. So when them officers, when those recruits walked into the cafeteria, God allowed me to be standing there waiting on my fish. And I asked the young man, I said, aren't you one of the recruits? He said, yes, ma'am. I said, let me tell you something. Do y'all got a meeting at 1:00? He said, yes, ma'am. I said, come here, let me tell you something. I said, when y'all go in that meeting, I said, I don't know what's going to happen, but when they ask you, do you think that you have been trained properly? I want you to say no. And you go and you tell all your classmates. Get your classmates together and say, we have not been trained properly. They trained us one way at the academy and they trained us one way in the field. I said, do you understand me? He said, yes, ma'am. I bet you they didn't get fired because I was sitting there listening to them lieutenants and shit, wanting to get that class out of there. A group of folks that needed a job. When he went in there and they went in there and did that, the chief said, well, y'all ain't teaching them right. They said they was taught one thing at the academy. Y'all teaching them one thing here. Y'all got them confused. Put them on 90-day probation. Extend their probation for 90 days. Bitch, that's what you're supposed to be next to a man for, bitch. To be able to help people. Not to perpetuate beefs, you simple slut. But it's unfortunate that a lot of women are just insecure like that. They're just simple like that. If you got the ear of the king, you're supposed to be able to bless people. If that's the only way that you can solidify your position, you might need to go and apply for another position. Okay? You need to go and apply for another position. Because what happens is, I ain't going to a groupie. Because I feel like the hanger-ons and the groupies are being sent out by the main person. So now the main person is in a beef. And when they dumb, and most often it's a damn man. Okay? And so that's why I tell women they need to do better. Lady, you got to do better. One thing about a man, a real man, he don't want no woman fighting for him. He don't want no woman in no beef. No, baby, you sit there and you be pretty. Cross your legs for me. That's what makes me feel good. It makes me come up with a plan. I can strategize sitting there looking at you sitting pretty. But no, don't you go get your hands dirty. Period. That's a real man for you. A sucker gonna send a chick out. That's the reason why I ain't got really got no respect for Finesse 2 times. They talking about how he sent Sugar in there to confront the barber. What man sends they pregnant, let alone a woman that ain't pregnant, but they pregnant woman in there to confront a barber? Don't no real men do that. But when women ain't had no real man, they don't know that. Now, it's one thing if it's my man, if it's my husband, and somebody come before me, you know, such and such. Hold on, bitch. I don't know if I'm a help you or hurt you. That's my motherfucking man, bitch. You don't come to me and talk about my man. We gonna dead that. That's when you got somebody back. You got they back behind they back. They come to you. Oh, okay. No, you can't talk about that's my dog. You can't talk about my dog to me. But I ain't get ready to go and start no blazes and perpetuate and instigate situations because I'm trying to solidify my position. I ain't that insecure. Okay. It's unfortunate a lot of women don't know that. You can have a man's back without keeping him in fires. You can have a man's back without keeping him in fires. Sneaky Stevens. That's what I call him. Start a blaze and then scream fire. You started that blaze. Oh, you see what now you screaming fire. You see that fire. You see everything they doing to you. You started that blaze. Who gonna get burned up? The person you claim you out there, you going hard for. Now they got third-degree burns because folks ain't gonna let you come up at them. Period. Because see, when you work in the corporate world and you have your interns and your workers and stuff, just like if you have a car wreck, a FedEx truck hit you, you ain't get ready to sue the worker. You're not gonna sue the person that was driving the truck. I'm getting ready to drop this lawsuit, this $1 million lawsuit on FedEx. I don't know the worker name, don't give a damn about the worker. I don't know nothing about him. Don't want to. But FedEx is who I know, and I know they got something. That's why you hear bosses say all the time, oh, okay, they intern made a mistake. I'm getting ready to make their boss pay for that. I ain't going at the intern, I'm going at the boss. And so I think that's what's happening a lot in the rap game and the social media streets. Okay. I think that's what's going on. Okay, and it's messed up. Because folks ain't gonna let you come at them. People ain't gonna let you come at them, just decide to throw a shot at them. Bitch, I'm gonna throw one back at you. Bitch, you don't know me. I don't care what you think you know. You don't know me. We ain't never had no conversations. I don't know you. And the person you getting the information from don't know me. They know what I allowed them to know. So you simple. Okay. Anyways, y'all, I'm gonna open up the lines. I mean, well, y'all, I don't have the phone. I don't know what a phone is, so I ain't gonna open up the lines. So I guess I gotta just keep talking for another 45 minutes, 30 minutes. And a lot of back doors and set right. There's a lot of back doors and setup chicks. What's up, TB21? What's going on, y'all? Back doors and setup chicks. I just think that, as women, we have to do better. There are a lot of women that are cutthroat and all of that. And the thing about it is, like, okay. The thing about it is, I wonder how come I didn't see that. Okay. the thing about it is, you know, people come at me. I don't understand why. Okay. I'm not gonna go back at a man. Okay. I'm not going to. I know what to do as it relates to a man. So you such and such came at you, okay, such and such is a scammer. I know what to do. I ain't gonna say a word though. It might take 3 years, but they scamming. They'll get them. But as far as like a woman, I don't even really have time to be on here arguing with a woman because these women and these men on here don't really know me. But I think it's a shame though, you know. This is what people do. You know, people would go and start mess or have other people to start mess. That's what it be. They send other people out to do it. And then think they're gonna sit back and laugh about it and then want to play victim or you know well they hating on me when the person strike back. Folks are not gonna let you just strike at them. What's wrong with just leaving folks alone? Well, you talk about this is my blog. I talk about who I want to talk about. They in the media. I talk about who I want to talk about that's in the media. If you don't like what I talk about, stay off of my blog. See, it makes me think a lot of people have mental illnesses because see, that's the saying people love to hate you. That's a mental illness when you love to hate a person. If you already know what I talk about on my blog, why you come looking for my blog? Why you subscribe? I shouldn't even be in your algorithm. If I'm in your algorithm, that means you come into my blog. So now you mad about what I'm talking about. You think you can control me? And that makes me mad because nobody controls me. That's one of my pet peeves. Don't you ever think that you can bully and control me into saying what you want or doing what you want. That's one of my pet peeves. My dad and my mother were high school sweethearts. So they was young, okay? They was real young. They were teenagers when they had me. They didn't really know what they wanted. Okay. So my dad went off to the service. And at that time, my mother was a teen, she wasn't ready to, okay. She said he had all of y'all spoiled. He sure had it. I guess he did. I guess he did. I think my mama more so had me spoiled. My dad tried to say he didn't believe in spoiling kids. That's what he tried to say, child. My dad was a workaholic, so he worked so much to try and build. Okay. But my mother always said that my dad was a very good provider. She always said that he was always, even as a teenager, he was a good provider because that's what my grandfather taught him. So I ain't gonna lie to Kawana. I'm fine as my dad was and all that my dad had going on. Maybe she tried to say she didn't have no regrets, but I think she did. She tried to say she didn't. I think she did. I told her all that fine chocolate man that was all you. No, I didn't have no regrets. I don't believe it though. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. Okay. Please like, share, and subscribe. See, my dad was the type, but my mama has always been very mild mannered and submissive type. His wife is the same way. Well, she tried to play like she was. She was with my daddy. And her daughter's the same way. They real mild mannered and submissive. My other sisters are too. I'm the only damn wild card, I guess. I talks back and act crazy. And I'm like my mama's mama. Okay. My daddy said, I don't. He said, if you didn't look so much like me, I wouldn't believe that you was mine. My daddy used to always say that. He said, man, if you didn't look so much like me, I wouldn't even believe you was mine. He said, I ain't even got a child as feisty as you are. Don't know a woman as feisty as you are, other than your grandmama. Okay. So when the hanger-ons and the groupies start blazes, the person that's trying to build catch the strays. That's how it is. And so that's why I think people need to get wise about the people that they have around them, because everybody that claim that they got your back ain't really got your back. They just keeping you in a bunch of bullshit that you ain't necessarily even got to be in. Now you get ready to catch a stray that you ain't even have to have. But some people are just agents of chaos. That's all they know. Y'all, that's all they know. And so that's why I say, as women, we have to do better. I ain't never in my life, never went trying to start no blazes to try to prove to a man that I was loyal to him. Okay. To try to prove that I was loyal to him. I mess with real men, regardless of whether they were knuckleheads or not. They were real men. There's a lot of shit they didn't tolerate. And they weren't gonna tolerate me jumping in front of them to catch a bullet. No, they put me behind them. Baby, you stay out the way. Because that makes me look less than a man. You stay out the way. You sit, I got this. That nigga was a knucklehead, but he sure had some characteristics of a man. That's probably what was that's the main thing that attracts me to a man, when I know they're gonna protect. Now they just have other issues going on that run me away later on. Okay. But when these women ain't had no real men, I don't care what their status is. I'm married, bitch. Don't mean you got a real man. Cause you supposed to already know you don't do that. He ain't put you in your place. You supposed to know you don't jump. You don't do that. That man got that. Bitch, I'm gonna sit over here. I gotta open up some shoes right now. I had a box waiting for me when I walked up. That's what I'm supposed to sit pretty with them shoes and cross my legs. And then when he stand in front of me and catch them strays, I open them up that night. That's what makes me attracted to a motherfucker. Okay? He don't have me being the man. But unfortunately, a lot of women ain't had real men. They don't know that. And these women got to stop being manipulative. Hell, if you gonna help a man, encourage him, help because some of them just ain't got no fucking sense. They don't know. They might have a dream, a good work ethic. They just I don't. They like a sheep. Don't know shit. Bitch, help him, baby. I know you simple, but I'm getting ready to help to guide you business wise. Why don't you do this, this, and that? That right there ain't even worth your time. Don't even put your attention on that right there. But I ain't get ready to be starting no fires, okay? To try to solidify my position. Look, baby, see? Hands and shit looking like Harriet Tubman. See, baby, I put that fire out for you. They thought they were gonna burn you up in their house. Girl, please. Okay. I know that's right, Kawana. That's the last pair. I don't have any more shoes coming in. And I'm gonna stop talking about my shoes because I don't want nobody to say we not gonna support her channel. Y'all support my channel so I can I was just buying them shoes for my birthday. Okay. I was buying them for my birthday. I ain't gonna I spent so much money. I was looking at my account today. I said, ooh, oh my God, y'all, I gotta make some I gotta build my money back up. I gotta give me a husband. Okay. So he could take care of me. Because that's what men do. They take care of their women. They don't put them in harm's way. Child, you ain't got to start no fires to jock for your position. If you are valuable, he's going to know it. Okay? And he gonna do everything he can to protect you. Okay? Friend or whatever it is. Okay. Anyway, y'all. But that's why the rap game and social media streets are so messed up. Because people are always instigating and throwing stuff up in the air. I don't throw stuff up in the air. Folks be thinking I'm talking about them. Hell, I be talking about something else. Somebody, people be thinking, yeah, such and such was talking about me. People don't know what folks go through on social media. They don't know. I caught some people talking about me the other day. Okay. I was listening to somebody I was talking about them. I wouldn't been more talking about them than the man in the moon. They don't know who I was talking about because I didn't say the names. I was just sitting in the bushes looking at them. Okay. But I'm glad I was able to see it. But people be think that you talking about them and they're not even on your mind. Okay. And so in instances like that, that's when the instigators, the groupies, and the hanger-ons, they take situations like, did you hear what she said? Yeah, she must have been she was in our bushes. Yeah, she thought we were talking about her. Lord have mercy. And so they take those opportunities to help to start a fire, okay, for the person that they're hanging on to and jockeying for a position from. This is my opportunity. I got to make this real grand. I got to really throw out some shots. Bitch, you crazy. I know they seen it. Ain't nobody seen what you said because they wouldn't expect to see it because they weren't even talking about that person. So whatever you posted, they don't even know what you're talking about because that person know they weren't talking about who you thought. And that's another thing. People so sensitive, when folks say something, put a name on it. I don't want to. Why you don't put a name on it? I don't want to. Because it maybe if I don't, it'll keep driving you crazy. Because there's a lot of people that's mentally ill. Okay. I got that much control over you. Maybe I'll drive you stone crazy since you simple and crazy anyways. So I'll keep not putting names on it so because I know it drives you crazy. It's a damn shame to let people that you don't even know have that much control over you. Okay. It's one thing. And I gotta say, I got people that rock with me. When I've seen this, when folks just decided that they was gonna attack me for no reason, I've seen some of my people go in chats and in comments and say, I can't take this shit no more. You know, such and such and such and such. Okay. You know you wrong. The women up in here, they thugs hard. When they get to a point we couldn't, especially when crackheads and stuff was really messing with me. But I've learned the way to do people when they're starving for your attention. That some people sit back and watch you for years and they wait for an opportunity. They get up their nerve and they say, this is my opportunity. It's to let them starve. Let them dehydrate. Bitch, I know you thirsty, but you ain't getting no water from me. I'm going to let your thirsty ass dehydrate. You get nothing from me. Okay? But that's what's going on in the rap game and the social media. Let people put what they want to put on their social medias. I don't go into. I be looking at folks sometimes. Some of these folks think that think I watch them. I don't watch them. I be looking at folks sometimes. Okay. He says not even alkaline water. Okay. Not even alkaline water. I be looking at folks sometimes, and if I don't like their topics, I just don't. Okay, I don't like their topic. I don't. I might even if I listen to it, I go, oh Lord, they know they lying. I'm out. I'm gone. Or if they funny with their lies, I'll stay in there and laugh. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I ain't saying this man lying. I'm gonna tell y'all somebody that I be looking at. Folks be thinking I'm looking at them. I be somewhere on the channel laughing. That OG murder guy from out of New Orleans. Oh my God. I wasn't even on YouTube yesterday because I was tired. But I went back and started looking at some of his vlogs. I went to sleep with his shit on. I went to sleep laughing. I was so tired yesterday. I wasn't even on social media yesterday, really, not on YouTube. But I jumped on. I was like, let me look at OG Murder. Because I've started binging on his stuff because he's so damn funny. They talking about him and that stuff with BG. I ain't got nothing to do with that. Because one thing I did hear him say was, I don't believe in VL on VL violence. So, I mean, regardless, he on here entertaining and he is funny. He mad at BG, but he said, I don't believe in VL and VL violence, which means he ain't get ready to do shit to BG, period. But talk about it. So ain't nobody gonna be able to instigate him doing anything to BG other than talking about him. And he just want to do that because he mad at him. But that man's so funny, it don't make no sense. I had the hiccups just the way he convey his message. Okay, and I gotta find my phone because he said, I want $1. Send me $1. He said he be having $400, $500 days just from $1. Okay. Just like if everybody in here gave me $1, I'd have $75 on my Cash App. So I ain't mad at Murder. OG Murder. OG Murder entertains. He's funny. He got stories people don't know about. I likes him. He's funny. I likes looking at stuff like that. And then when I get on my channel, ain't nobody got no business coming at me about nothing I put on my channel. That would means that there's you mentally ill. How in the hell does anybody ever think that they could tell somebody what they can talk about on their channel? There's something wrong with that. And that's another thing. That's why the rap game and the social media street so messed up. Folks want to try to control folks. They ain't talking about what I want to talk about. See, the logical thing would be this person ain't talking about or saying that I want to hear it. Let me click out of this and go somewhere else. That's what sane people do. Insane people get mad and they start trying to talk about or do stuff to the people. They ain't saying what I want them to say. They start trying to retaliate. They feel like that's their job. That's insanity. And so that's why I tell people every fight ain't worth fighting. Some of these folks run around on YouTube off of their damn meds. So I mean, they crazy when they talk about, yeah, these folks are doing, yeah, they'll do anything, they're mentally ill. Thank you, Joy Loves God. Thank you, Joy Loves God. I appreciate that so much. She said, I'll start it off. That's right. Who is with Joy Loves God? Okay. A lot of folks are running around off of their meds. So you don't need to argue with them. They're miserable and they looking for somebody to do something to. She's sitting up there ordering all them shoes. I want to start a fight with her. You a whole Negro with a size 14 shoe. And you jealous because I'm buying heels? She's sitting up buying all them heels. I like sales. I want a reason to do something to it. And she going to leave them shoes. They mad because they a man with a Adam's apple in their throat and they wear a size 15 shoe. He mad because he can't put his damn foot in a heel, so he wanted to take me out. That's why these folks ain't worth arguing with. Go get you a damn heel made and live your damn best life, because you probably wearing them anyways in hotel rooms when you with your man. Okay, when you sneak off from your woman and go hook up with your man. Okay, but get mad at me because I'm able to wear heels out in the open and be girly. Be a girl and live your best life. But people sit in the bushes and wait because they're miserable. I don't listen to people that I don't care for. I just don't. She be talking about she buying all that perfume. I love it too. But see, now what they can do is they can they could buy perfume and put it on and then say my woman put this perfume in my shirt. That's how they can play it off. They mad because they got to buy cologne. So that's why I say, because it's not even normal for men to even want to argue with women. Most men ain't gonna argue with no woman. You know why? Because they know women are catty and we we have a tendency to be silly and meddling and girly and all of that. Men don't have, when they're logical thinkers and real men, they don't have time for that. I always tell folks, if you catch a man arguing with a woman, that's a red flag right there. He might be on the down low, because most men be trying to think about how they gonna get them some money, and that's it. They not gonna argue with no woman. They think that's beneath them. I ain't get ready to argue with no damn girls. But some people don't know how to spot the signs of men on the down low. Okay. Thank you, Diane, for the $4.99 super sticker. Thank you, Kawana. Okay. But I think it's sad how people are not wise. That's right. On one we go, never be the dog at the cat fight. And I'm gonna tell you another thing too. Real men don't. You have to watch them when they want to keep women into it. They instigating fights between women. That's not a real man. They're not gonna have women fighting and sicking women on each other. That they ain't got time for that either. It's not. It's just too. Real men. I don't have time for that. Women fighting and shit. They be trying to get away from that. I remember when my cousins used to have girls that would show up at my auntie house at the same time. See, they were money getters. So the women went crazy over them. They kept money. And they were good to their women too. They just weren't no good. And so when they would show up together, my auntie would say, "These girls over here going at each other." They would say, "Well, I ain't mama. Tell them to leave." Well, you better get him. No, mama, I ain't coming. I ain't coming. If I don't come, it'll die out. No, mama, I ain't coming. Well, they didn't want to be caught up in their mess anyways, but they didn't come and instigate or anything like that. And then when he didn't show up, they went on about their business. He was able to tell them both lies at separate times. But you got men now that relish in that. You see they fighting over me, a bunch of bitches wanting the women to fight. You see they fighting, they want everybody to see the women fighting, and it's their damn baby mamas. Thank you, Carrie, for the $4.99. Thank you so much, love. Okay. It's their damn kids' mamas. How you want to keep your kids' mamas into it? They got to end up in jail, and they taking care of your kids and the custodial parents of your children. You shouldn't even want that. Okay, you supposed to get in your car and go like my cousins did, and maybe she should have broke it up, but they knew that they was messing with both of them, so I guess they couldn't. Okay, but they sure didn't try to get there and instigate nothing. Move. Move. So some of these people that's trying to move around and have something for themselves, they need to reevaluate these people that go and start these blazes. Okay, because their name is all over that. Not the hanger-ons or the groupies, but the person that they call themselves fighting for. They go and start these blazes and scream fire. Thank you, TB21. And the person that they fighting for received the 3rd-degree burns. Okay. As I say, women gonna have to find another way to jock for position. Okay. First thing they say, I got a man. I don't believe that. Your man let you your man let you start all these fires. Okay. Because these women that's got men, they don't let them be on social media all the time like that. Because you got to be laid up under your damn man sometimes. I'd have a fucking fit if I had a man and he was on this motherfucker thinking he gonna be starting blazes for another woman. it wouldn't be no peace up in there. It wouldn't happen. It ain't gonna happen. Some of these folks need to reevaluate their relationships at home. Okay? Because when I've been involved, okay, when you see women that are involved, oftentimes their presence go a little missed. They be caught up with their man. Okay? That's when you know it's a man around. Okay? Girl, where you been up under him? When you gonna give it? I don't know. I don't know, because I have to be up under him, pulling all on him and his ear and shit. Bitch, I'm gonna be back on later. One day. That's when you got a man at home. Anyway, y'all. What else been going on in these YouTube streets? But I hope the rap game can get better. You know, I hope people can get their emotions in check. I want people to get their emotions in check. How are these rappers gonna be making all this money? And then y'all, Coles just sent me $20 cash, $20 in cash, y'all. Lord, I don't want to use it, but it's gonna expire next week. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to see what I got to do to stop getting the coupons. Ken says the culture is messed up from the ground up. Too many culture vultures, fake street dudes. Like Pimp C said, you need to stop the fake dope. About both sides of the game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because how these dudes gonna be in this rap situation, and a lot of them be making money, but they allow people to instigate. Now with this Dolph situation, I know they said that it was instigated, but I don't think that this Dolph situation was instigated. About when Dolph was killed and when he put out 100 shots and when he put out "Play with Your B." What's Steven at? Steven, when did Young Dolph put out "Play with Your B"? When that like around 2017, and they was constantly trying to kill him after he had put something out years before. That's jealousy. That's jealousy. Young Dolph was, see, people don't talk about how the year that he died, how he was doing concerts at what's the name? Y'all, what is, I can't think of the name of that show that he was booked for. He was doing a concert and he brought all of his artists out. Y'all see he was constantly putting out stuff with Wu and Snoop Bands put out, and he was directing their videos. Pop Out, Nothing to Me. I mean, he put all that out in 2021. The dude was constantly going up. That one, yeah, Rolling Loud. That dude was constantly going up. Play with Your B was years before. So that was jealousy. That was not instigation. That was jealousy. And so that's what's going on. Instigation and jealousy in the rap game and the social media streets. Because you could easily, somebody talk about you. That's how a lot of the celebrities were able to make it before. Folks talking about them in the Inquirer and all of that. They was glad to see their faces and shit sitting up on the stand when we was in the grocery store line. Okay, that's how people, their names and stuff got out there. Now you got social media; it's a little bit easier. And folks don't want to go at people until they got some motion going. So even with the instigation, nobody can instigate anything unless there's a green-eyed monster somewhere. And it's usually jealousy. Let me see. Oh, that nigga think he's showing his house. Oh, he think he got a car. Yeah, he said that about me. Yeah, we're gonna kill him. But if he look at him, oh, he ain't look at him. He living in a raggedy house. He got a raggedy car. Man, we ain't get ready to do nothing to him. They only want to take people from their life. They're only insulted when the person got some motion behind them. So at the core of it is jealousy. Yeah, that's what's going on in the rap game and the social media streets. Okay, that's what's going on. And it's a darn shame before God. That people can be so pathetic. They mess up their own lives. Okay. So y'all tell me this, y'all. What is it gonna take though? What is it going to take? Because see, sometimes you have to agree. Hey, Anissa. Hey, Anissa. Sometimes you have to agree. Sometimes you have to agree that we just ain't gonna be able to get along. But we gotta coexist. Lord have mercy. I ain't seen exposing the truth up in here. Rappers has never been the pillow of the community. They are fake gay. Okay. I mean, it's the truth. I normally don't even agree with exposing the truth, but he said in 2025, if you still following a rapper, you a damn fool. Okay. That's what their guy named who brought all the land and food trucks. It says got to start lifting up positive and not all the negativity. Absolutely. Okay. Kawana says they thought he wasn't going to make money. So y'all, what is it gonna take? Okay. What is it gonna take? People gonna have to start having minds of their own. Folks are gonna have to get wiser about the hanger-ons. Okay. Because the thing is, And just like with Beyonce, the people that work for her, when people that work for her go back and try to defend her, when somebody comes at her on social media, they fire the person. Because what you don't do is you don't feed the beast. Okay? You let the beast starve out. And then after a while, what happens? People move on to something else. They already know Beyonce ain't gonna say nothing. Her people are not going to say anything. So they talk about it for a couple of days and then they move on. It's going to take someone like me that's charismatic and magnetic. Oh. Okay. Y'all hit that like button for me, okay? Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. I would appreciate that so much. Yes, I would. I would appreciate it so much. Hold on. I need to get a campaign going. Y'all run the likes up. Y'all, please run the likes up. We need to run the likes up. Please run the likes up. But yeah, what is it gonna take? Okay, exposing the truth. Divine Black Rose says people got to start being real men, women they claim to be instead of the real ninjas. And I agree. Divine Black Rose, that's so absolutely true. That's so true. What's up, Edward Potts? Says bring back party hip hop. This golden era. Hip hop was everything they would dance all night. And right now, people feel like the thing to do is to have guns and stuff. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a weapon to protect yourself, but these folks riding around looking for people to do something to. Oh, excuse me, just because. Jumbuck says Jessica is surely upset if upsetting you by being a little lamb is offensive. Then why check out my library books from my free book post? Tony P says folks frown at the real and smile at the fake. I agree, Tony P. That's exactly what happens. And I think people try too hard to convince folks that they real. I'm real. I'm this. I'm the realest. I'm that. You know, if you gotta if you gotta say it all the time, you gotta try to convince people that you're real. You probably fake. Who you trying to convince yourself? Because if you are, people gonna automatically see it, and you ain't got to say nothing about it. So yeah, I'm this. I'm the realest. I'm this. Who you trying to convince? You? Because I ain't convinced. So yeah, you be trying to convince yourself. The street shouldn't be talking. Everybody shouldn't have the right to give. Shouldn't have the right to give their opinion if they're not willing to die for it. No, it's against the law to kill somebody just because they said something to you. So then the streets should be willing to go to jail and do that time. But see, I don't see that. What they do is the streets feel like they supposed to kill you for what you say and run from the police. Now, if you gonna kill somebody, that's against the law. So what you need to do is when you go kill them, you need to go ahead and get ready to go do that time. But that's what they leave out. That's what they leave out. You need to go rock that life sentence. They don't want to do that. If you man enough to take a man life because you too sensitive, your ass need to be ready to go, as they say in New Orleans, Joseph State for life. They want to do the first part. They just ain't man enough to do the second part. Okay. Exposing Truth says it's the mentality. No real code of ethics, morality is non-existence due to lack of knowledge that's being taught within the community that can be established in the homes. True Bleed says, I don't like hearts from men. Expo. Ain't nothing wrong with hearts from men, True Bleed. Y'all hit that like button and run those likes all the way up until you can't run them up anymore. Okay, and we have a campaign going on. Okay, we need to get we need to get 10 super chats. Jess and the baby, you trying to get us on a live. Exposing the truth. True Bleed. No, I'm saying everybody from the streets can get on social media now and broadcast street politics on the web. The streets was operated by the G code, not Facebook. Okay. I see what you're saying, Edward Potts. Y'all run the likes up for me. Run the likes up. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. I would appreciate that so much. Anyway, y'all, I want to come on and convey that message. And you know what? I hope it was received all over the world. The people that was in here, and I hope to each one teach one. This message goes far. Okay. Um, because people got to stop starting fires. messing with folks that don't know them. Okay. Just to try and solidify a position. Okay. Just to try and solidify a position. Okay. He said, on my side, okay, so you're on the second channel. Okay, he said on his side, the likes and the views are even. Y'all make sure y'all run the likes up. Run the likes up. Run it up until you can't run it up no more. He said, let's turn it up, man. Yeah. He said Memphis goes as far as what the mayor wants. Run them likes up, run them likes up and get me hyped up. What's Angie said? Run my likes up, get me hyped up. Run them likes up, get me hyped up. I think Stan G might be ready to come on himself, huh? Let me see. I know he not. I don't know why I thought he was. I'm serious. F that. I can care less who lived out and make it or make no from it. It was too much going on to be worried about the people who's no qualified to be leaders in the community. He says Stangy just dropped on Pop Austin on Big Third. Oh, okay. Okay. Anyways, you guys, listen. That's one of the reasons that I came on, because I really wanted to talk. I wanted to talk about that. Okay. I wanted to talk about, why is the rap game and social media street so messed up? And it's got everything to do with people running around instigating stuff. And also people just grown folks would know that by now. You can't control nobody else. You can't control nobody else. So if somebody wants to get on here and talk about something, it could be cap all day, but that's their vlog. So my same mind says, that's their stuff. Don't look at it because I already know that it's cap. And so what I do is I move on. I don't look at it. I don't give them the view, and I move on. Okay. It don't stress me out. Nothing. Okay. I don't have no type of stress as it relates to it. I just move on. And so I think that's what people are going to have to start doing as it relates to the social media streets. There are more ways to skin a cat. When people get on here, you can sue folks for slander. So when people get on here and slander your name and things of that nature, what you got to do is you got to go get you a lawyer. Send them a cease and desist. Okay. If they keep doing it, then you might want to move forward with a lawsuit. Some people just flat out stalk you. Okay. You can get a stalking charge. Okay. On people when they're consistently doing things. It's a lot of things people do up on here that fall up under stalking. So, you can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, I mean, you just sometimes it's just good not to. It's good to just let the beast dehydrate, because some people just want your attention. They have a sick obsession with you. So if you let the beast dehydrate and just let them, don't let them stay thirsty. Okay. If you let them stay thirsty, they dehydrate, and then when you dehydrate, you die out. They croak out. They're just it just dies. Some things are not even worth addressing, because a thirsty beast, it gives them life again when you answer and give them water. You're giving them water. You're watering them. Okay. But when they thirsty for your attention, just have to let them thirsty bitches dehydrate. They're gonna have to they're gonna have to jock for position in another way. And I know that's got to be draining. It's got to be draining. Oh man, they didn't bite. I'm dehydrating. They're not watering me. So now I got to go start another fire and scream blaze. Because I really got to prove that I got their back this time. Oh man, that didn't work. They just letting me dehydrate. Okay. I'm going to have to find me another job. And let self-worth be the first thing. Okay. Because once you have you have self-worth, you don't do things of that nature. You don't even stress yourself out to have to do that. Okay. Because, if I feel like somebody that I care about, people are messing with them, you know what I do? I don't mess with the people. See, I'm a different type of loyal person. When I mess with people the long way, when I love them, I care about them. When people are messing with them and I feel like it's not justified, I don't mess with the person. Such and such. We are nah. I can't hang out. Why? No, I just can't hang out. I ain't even got to say that it's because I mess with that person. I don't mess with that person. Nah, I can't. I'm not fooling with nobody that's got somebody that I care about in distress. I'm not getting ready to go start a fire and scream blaze though. So to jock for a position that because that person that I'm jocking for gonna receive them strays and them 3rd-degree burns. Okay, I just don't mess with that person. Okay, I don't want to hear nothing they got to say. I don't fool with them. That's the type of person that I am. I don't fool with them. That's why when I don't deal with people that deal with people that did things to hurt me. I just don't. Okay. Somebody has had me in distress and hurt me. You got the right to do whatever you want to do, because I don't try to control people. But my stance is I can't mess with that. Okay. But there's been some people that weren't my friends. Okay. And I saw how dirty they did. I saw how dirty they did that person. One thing I do know, if a person can do one person dirty, it's just in them. They'll mess with, they'll do you the same way. If you do something they don't like, it's just in them. Okay. So what I do is I step back. Okay. That's why when I tell people, don't come in here throwing shots at folks on my, going at folks in the chat and stuff. I don't like that. That's why I don't let people attack Raven when she come in here. I don't like people attacking people. That's not what this chat is for. You can go into another chat, do what you want to. But on my watch, I don't like that. And for the most part, the people in here respect it. I appreciate that so much, because that puts me up under stress. Dog, you got 10 people attacking one person. That ain't even fair. I got issues with that. Ain't nobody on the internet messing with me, exposing the truth. You know why they ain't messing with me? Because they can't. They can't. Exposing the truth. Why don't you send me a super chat? Okay. You loves this channel. But anyway, y'all. Y'all, I've been missing Fat Boy on this channel. I have. Y'all know Fat Boy used to bring a lot of energy and fun and stuff in here. I miss him. Anybody know where Fat Boy at? Diane said, truly, I've been out handling a little biz. Diane says, I don't either. I don't do no faking. I'm blind to the BS. Yeah. Okay. What you talking about? All what come with being known? What you talking about? I mean, it's true. You know, when you decide to do vlogs and stuff, you would think that it's unfortunately it's been happening forever. I remember yeah, it's been happening forever. People have obsessive behaviors when they see people, you know, that do vlogs and radio stuff like that. People have obsessive behaviors. And then folks will say, well, you shouldn't. If you shouldn't do it. I got a right to do whatever I want to do without being stalked and harassed. People should be able to do what they want to do as long as they're not hurting other people without being stalked and harassed. Okay. But I hope I had a good message tonight. People are going to have to learn to mind their own business. People get on here to vlog. That's what gossip. These are called gossip vlogs. So when folks get on here and say, you in folks' business. Okay, well, everybody has a right to their own opinion, even if I don't agree with it. But this is a gossip vlog. So if you don't want to hear folks talk about people's business, you don't need to have your messy ass in a gossip vlog. Because everybody that do this, these are gossip vlogs. Okay? But some people get on here because they want to argue. Let me see who I don't like her anyway. Let me see what she's talking about so I can argue with her. And get mad. They take it personal. My moderator's not going to let nobody come up in here and argue with me. They're going to block them. And then they'll be saying, well, you know, tell me, let her moderators run the chat. They do. You're not going to come up in here and be disrespectful with the host. It's one thing when you got an opinion. It's another thing when you got a chip on your shoulder and you've been sitting in the bushes now that you done went and got your crack. Okay? You done went and got your beers. You done went and got your whiskey because you're a wino or a drunk. You done got your courage up. I don't like her anyways. We blocks your ass. Now you drunk and mad. You sprung and mad. Okay? You wander out of the meth house. And now you want to come in here and argue. And my moderators cut it short. You want to come in here and be disrespectful to me and others, and my moderators block you. Sometimes they block me so fast, I don't even know who they blocked. Okay? Okay. So now you done went and got your crack and stuff, and it got up your courage, and you just got to be a crackhead with nobody to argue with. Okay. And they allow that anger to fester. I done sit here and got sprung, and I can't even go in here and get my rocks out. No, you sit your sprung ass in the bushes and look. You can't say nothing. Wait for that high to come down so you can go and try to get you $5 to get you another rock. Make you another page, and we're gonna block that one. You ain't blocked. If you was blocked, you wouldn't be able to be typing right now. Okay. Anyways, he said I missed the time out. Well, then evidently you must be doing something to get timed out for then. You must be doing something to get time out. Did I see McName Mason here earlier? I don't know if I spoke to him or not. I saw him, but I don't know if I spoke to him. Shout out to McName Ace. Okay. Shout out to Ace. I don't know who this is and don't want to know. The number looks familiar. Let me see if they don't send me a text. Hold on. Oh, it's probably some tea. This the tea person right here. Hold on. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Let me see, who is that? Y'all look like somebody trying to spam the chat. Y'all, somebody spamming the chat. Okay. It probably was you exposing the truth. You probably got another page. Okay. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. Okay. Listen, you guys. Hold on, let me look at something right quick before I get off of here. Hold on. He said, "Oh my God, it probably was you." All right, you guys. I said, "Great face, what's going on? What's the word, great face? What is the word?" What's up, Memphis native? Let me see if my phone can film it. Y'all be quiet. Be quiet. Damn, that was not me. You see me. Anyways, you guys, listen. He said, "Miss T, I'm waiting for the breaking news." The person answered their phone and clicked over to the other line. They'll call me back. Exposed. They'll call me back. When they call me back, I'll go into the members. He was only here to promote and troll in the chat. Salute him. All right, you guys. Listen, I appreciate you all tuning in. When that person called me back, because they clicked over on the other line and kept me on hold too long. When that person called me back, normally they call with some piping stuff. So I'll go into the members. But anyways, you guys, I love you guys. I appreciate you all. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. I need to get off because I need to do some stuff in my kitchen. I'll talk with you guys later.